You know exactly what to do. You have known for a long time. This is not confusion. This is not lack of information. This is not waiting for clarity. You already see it. You already feel it. And you keep pretending you don't. You wake up with it in the back of your mind. It follows you through the day. It sits quietly when you distract yourself. And every night, it's still there. You don't avoid action because you don't know what to do. You avoid it because you know what it will cost. It will cost comfort. It will cost excuses. It will cost the version of you that hides behind later. So you stall. You delay. You wait for the perfect moment that never comes. You tell yourself you're being patient. You call it timing. You call it being realistic. But it's just avoidance with better language. You already know what needs to change. You know what you're tolerating. You know what you keep returning to even though it drains you. And you know why. Because doing nothing feels safer than doing the right thing. Doing nothing lets you keep your identity intact. The identity of someone who could change. Someone who will change. Someone who is almost ready. As long as you don't act, you don't have to face failure, or loss, or the truth that effort doesn't guarantee relief. So you stay stuck on purpose. You don't admit that out loud, but your behavior already has. You keep saying you want something different, yet your days look exactly the same. Same habits, same patterns, same compromises you swore you'd stop making. And every time you repeat them, something small inside you hardens. You feel it. That quiet numbness, that dull pressure behind your chest. That's not stress. That's self-betrayal. You are tired, not because life is hard, but because you keep lying to yourself. You keep acting surprised by outcomes you actively choose. You tell yourself you'll start when you feel ready. But readiness never arrives, because readiness comes after action, not before it. You already know this, and still, you wait. You wait for motivation. You wait for confidence. You wait for someone to tell you it's okay. But none of that is missing. What's missing is your willingness to sit in discomfort without escaping it. You don't fear the task. You fear the silence that comes when excuses stop working. You fear the moment when you can no longer blame time, or people, or circumstances. Because then, there's only you, and that scares you more than staying stuck. So you keep yourself busy. Busy enough to avoid thinking clearly. Busy enough to feel productive without moving forward. You mistake motion for progress, noise for purpose, endless planning for effort. And deep down, you know the difference. You know the one thing you're avoiding. The conversation, the decision, the discipline, the ending. You don't need a list. You don't need reminders. Your body already reacts when you think about it. That tightness, that urge to scroll, that sudden need to do anything else. That reaction is the truth. You say you don't have time, but you have time to repeat the same distractions every day. You say you don't have energy, but you spend energy resisting what you know must happen. You say you're overwhelmed, but you're overwhelmed because you refuse to choose. Indecision feels passive, but it is an active choice. Every day you don't act, you are deciding something. You are deciding to keep the cost small now, and much bigger later. You tell yourself tomorrow will be different. But tomorrow is built from today, and today looks exactly like yesterday. At some point, you stopped trusting yourself, not because you failed once, but because you kept promising and not following through. Each broken promise lowered your self-respect quietly. No dramatic collapse, just erosion. And now you wonder why confidence feels fake. Why words don't move you anymore. It's because you've heard them before. From yourself. And you didn't act. So your mind stopped believing you. You don't need harsher discipline. You don't need better systems. You need to stop negotiating with the part of you that wants to stay comfortable. That part will always have a reason, a delay, a rational explanation, and it will sound convincing because it exists to protect you from discomfort, not to move you forward. If you keep listening to it, nothing changes. Not suddenly, not slowly, not ever. The hardest moment is not the action itself. It's the moment right before it. The moment where you can still back out, still justify waiting, still pretend this isn't the day. That's where you usually turn away. And every time you do, you teach yourself a lesson. You teach yourself that your word doesn't matter. That lesson sinks deep. You don't fix that with thinking. You fix it with one honest action, not a plan, not an announcement, not a mental rehearsal. One move that costs you comfort. You already know which one. Notice how quiet your mind gets when you stop resisting that truth. No drama, no excuses, just clarity. That clarity has been waiting for you the whole time. You didn't need more information. You needed less avoidance. And now, there's nothing left to misunderstand.